There is going to be a comment on the latest videos by Leftism Today. As far as I was able to understand, he wants to build an alliance with Wash of all people. The only positive thing I can see coming out of this would be that Wash would finally be exposed for the liberal he actually is during the process. But I guess that optics don't matter anymore. Wash and all of these bread tubers represent everything that an apolitical or general populace and somewhat right-leaning people turns off when they hear about the left, which is actually, in reality, is the synthetic left, the red libs, the woke skulls. Leftism Today talks about that Wash channel skyrocketed in a short period of time. But you have to take in mind that Wash strongly benefited from Destiny's community. Who listens to Destiny listens to Wash. They basically share the same audience. And if it wasn't already bad enough that these people don't give a shit about the working class, they ignore facts. They ignore the fact that men are mostly affected by police brutality, regardless of their skin color, by the way. They talk about suicide rates of trans people, but they look the other way if it comes to suicide rates of cis males, which is you, Leftism Today. Being gay is not going to save you. You are just a utility to the intersectional feminists. I mean, isn't it interesting that socialist countries today, or countries that are socialist in spirit, past and present, don't have or never had intersectional feminism? And despite the inexistence of intersectional feminism in China, Vietnam, North Korea today, and the earlier years of the USSR, these societies, these countries, aren't and weren't particularly homophobic. I mean, sure, they don't have gay marriage, but I'm against the institution of marriage anyway. It's a dirty institution that is exploitive of men. And you can say whatever you want. You can say, oh, men don't have any problems and not oppressed. Look at all of these men in higher positions, and there are more rich men than there are rich women, and yada yada yada. According to this logic, Germany would be a matriarchy because the highest position of the country is held by a woman. Or another example would be if I point at the NBA in order to make the point that black men in America are all rich and powerful and are all athletes. Doesn't work that way. There is no real left anymore in the West. And the ever so growing anti-China sentiment is certainly not going to help. I'm probably going to make a video where I go more in depth why socialism is more successful in some areas, some cultures, and why I see socialism or communism as more of a spiritual, or maybe better said, philosophical thing, and that many problems in modern society are not just illnesses of capitalism, but also a mishandling of technology. Like, don't tell me that in a society which for centuries has promoted individualism and has encouraged people to move, to go into different directions and isolate themselves, are suddenly, almost overnight, going to develop a collectivist mindset and participate in serving their community. Thank you for the attention.